few years ago, wanting to reduce my digital footprint, I started tracking some of the internet's energy use and extractions. I learned that the internet depends on three things: computers, access networks, and data centers. To make a computer, manufacturers mine ores like copper, cobalt, coltan, lithium, and quartz, and transport them to smelters and refineries. Then refined metals travel to assembly plants. Manufacturers also make chemicals to make silicon transistors electrically conductive. Pure silicon is doped with hundreds of chemicals and rinsed after each application with ultra-pure water. One transistor factory uses millions of gallons of water every day and takes water from farmers. Computers are assembled and packaged before the final product ships to its end user. If we look at a laptop's energy use from its cradle to its grave, 81% will be used during manufacturing before its end user turns it on for the first time. The remaining 19% will be consumed during the laptop's operation and discard or recycling. These are partial lists of the substances in a smartphone. Each substance has its own energy-intensive, toxic waste-emitting supply chain. But video games, social media, websites, bank records, GPS records, and everything else online needs storage. They need data centers. Some data centers are so large they can be seen from outer space. Inside, data centers are filled with computers and cooling systems, which guzzle energy and water. And of course, they also need the access networks, which were in the previous slides. At the end of their usable lives, electronics do not biodegrade. They're hazardous waste. The internet is the largest thing that humanity has built, and yet users rarely see its energy use, extractions, or waste. To move toward reducing the internet's ecological impacts, I dream that every user research the supply chain of one substance in their device and share their research with classmates and colleagues. Children, we need to not let children use electronics until they have mastered reading, writing, and math on paper, and at least 3 other skills with no electronic interface, like growing lettuce, making a meal, making a table, or drawing a map of the neighborhood. Then you know how sending a photograph takes lots of data? 1 second of video can have 60 still photos. That's a lot of data and a lot of energy. When you connect with colleagues or family, just use audio only. Watch video on a wired computer, which uses less energy than live streaming. Tally how much time you spend online and reduce these hours by 3% per month. Since most toxic waste is generated and most energy is consumed during manufacturing, wait at least 4 years before buying new equipment. Extend your computer's life by accessing free repair manuals at ifixit.com. And since telecom infrastructure poses fire and collapse hazards, insist that municipal officials require a professional engineer's certified report that all hazards have been mitigated before the technology goes live. When school systems and businesses purchase electronics in bulk, buy only from manufacturers who verify that children are not involved in mining and workers are fairly paid and not exposed to toxins. Consider guidelines at the Basel Action Network. Planetary health depends on awareness of the technosphere's ecological and public health impacts. To move toward a balanced relationship with Earth, we understand we need to strengthen local food systems. What would communications look like if we limited our energy use, extractions, and refining to local resources? Could we still do PowerPoints like this one? Could we do the activities at hand without an electronic interface? Could our city access telecommunications and respect the health of all people involved in their supply chains? Could we reduce our digital footprint this month by 3%? By asking questions, doors open up.